Now, for my next number, I'd like to return to the
Classic. Times.
Live straight classic.
Classic. I'm better than I ever been.
I rock him, the fiend of a microphone. Yeah, is y'all ready for 2007? It's now another drought. Everybody's a killer. Wow, we bugging out. Since 86, showing the crowd what I'm about. And they still wanna know when the album coming out. After teenagers, OGs, and asking kids what the definition of classic is. Timeless, so age don't count in the booth. When your flow stays submerged in the fountain of youth. Ain't no doubt in the truth, I'm off the meter.
Hey, yo, what up, world? Welcome back. This is The Classics. I'm Rob Markman. This is the show. Look, so much negativity out there, man. There's so much stuff to argue about. We just want to talk about the classics, the stuff that we all know, the stuff that we all love. I promise that there's going to be no arguing. Because on my left, I got...
Trav, what up? I'm going to argue.
And on my right, I got...
Hello, what up?
You ain't see I did the Biggie shit, but of course, you know, I had my fingers crossed. Nah, man. Really what this show is, and it's really like to get us on the same page, talk about the things that we know and love, and we talk about it passionately. Sometimes we all agree on things. Sometimes we do not.
Most times.
Sometimes we do not. And then y'all gotta let us know in the comments. Y'all ain't gotta agree, but you know, we just want to get on the same page. There's certain things that I feel like though is classics in our culture. So today we want to talk about, might be triggering for some, I get it and I understand, and y'all can talk open and honestly to us. Today we're gonna talk about the Cosby Show. All right, this is about music, this is film, this is culture, this is content.
About Heathcliff Huxtable,
Yeah,
not Bill Cosby.
Why are you yelling at me?
I'm just saying, general.
Well. Boom, let's get right into it. Can you divorce the two?
I can, because I also I look at it like I don't mind people killing him, like as far as like whatever they got to say about him. But if somebody shoots somebody in a movie, we don't start calling them a murderer. Like that don't change the movie for me. So with the Cosby Show,
that's a reverse.
Sometimes
That's the reverse.
I'm
sometimes
saying,
I hate,
but you still got to divorce it, right?
I hated John Leguizamo for years because he killed Carlito. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, damn, bro, you killed Carlito, bro.
Backwards,
You know, Andy Blanco.
Yeah.
But
backwards, though.
no, but you ever hear that? It'd be like I guess really say that.
Yeah,
Yo, they think I'm the character. They see me in the supermarket, like the woman in Selena, the actress.
Oh, that killed.
Who killed Selena, the actress, not the real woman. I interviewed her once. She was like, "Yeah, I go to the supermarket and they think I'm really her."
I probably would be triggered if I saw her too. That was traumatizing for me.
You know, it'd be triggering for me if I seen Bobby Flay in real life. I'm entourage. If I seen Bobby Flay in real life, I have some real sparks, some smoke for that nigga. So I guess I could kind of fall in with that.
Basically, I can see both sides of it. Yeah.
I definitely understand both sides.
I care so much about like the impactful stuff in our culture, the impactful art in our culture,
The bookmarks.
that I'm always separated. Cause like, you know, especially the last 2-3 years, they don't found some shit on pretty much everybody or try to find some shit on everybody that's meant something to our culture in my lifetime. So it's like, if you don't divorce it, you don't got nothing. We end up with nothing.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of people, and there's a lot of things that have happened even under the roof that we don't even know about yet. That will have us making a decision of like, do we separate it? Do we marry it? Do we, ignore it? Do we blink one eye or whatever the case is? So I guess it's just like a moral compass of how you feel and what's important or what matters to you.
Right.
And if you feel like I gotta divorce it, or I can't divorce it, then that's a decision. I'm not mad at it either. So, but it's always a hard, especially with the Cosby Show and how important and still relevant and still influential and impactful it was to hear and to see all that shit unfold with Bill Cosby. But like he said, we're talking about Heathcliff.
Another point too, we just lost Malcolm Jamal Warner. Everybody was remembering those moments. So it's so many different lenses you could look at.
Well, it is a vehicle, and clearly nobody here is defending Bill Cosby's actions and what he's been convicted for, what he's in jail for, and is disheartening and it's unsettling and it's disappointing because we held him in such a high regard, but a lot because we probably equated him to the character of Huxtable. That's who Heathcliff Huxtable. Damn, I done fucked his name up. Heathcliff. But that's who. But even still, it's like, but it was also called the Cosby Show, right? Like that was a weird show in that regard is that he was his character, and I think loving father, like just funny, whatever.
Business,
yeah, the fact that they use his real name in the show, but then they use it as the name of the show.
That's what kind of kills it. That's what kind of kills it, because if it was called like the Huxtables,
right?
I don't think like the
sting
would be so detrimental.
But you know what? I was just thinking too. Another point. I bitch stopped liking Bill Cosby the person,
right?
Because Bill Cosby the person was anti-hip hop for all I knew, right? Like he was always at our generation for how we dress, how we talk, how we did stuff. So we was never really married to Bill.
Yeah, I remember.
But wasn't Michael Jordan like that too?
Yeah,
Michael Jordan said that he ain't fuck with hip hop like that either.
This is the thing, and for people who are watching,
he wasn't as bad.
No, but people who are watching who are a little bit younger, again, when we say that hip hop in the 80s and early 90s was so heavily criticized, they said it was a fad. What is that music? You know, like this generation,
federal cases trying to kill it.
Like, right, but we're in this generation now where some of us are old enough, and I'm not saying you, I'm not saying me, but it's definitely people within our range who look down at younger hip hop artists, be like, oh, that's mumble rap, and you dismiss it.
No, I do.
Yeah, I definitely do.
But they was doing that to us when it was Run DMC. I like, oh, what is that?
I get the flip side. I get the flip side of it, like, because now we're them,
right?
But that's actually too why I feel like I just don't talk to them.
Right.
Like, because I understand, like, I remember, like, my dad had, somebody gave my dad Hard Knock Life, right? My dad was like, I don't want this shit.
Right.
I don't listen to this. Right. Now, granted, 2-3 years later, he was listening to it.
Right.
But because he didn't want it, that's how I got my first Jay-Z CD that I was able to get from my dad in a certain way. Right. And he still was, like, anti-hip-hop. So I don't want to be that guy. But this shit just trash.
Bill Cosby was the jazz guy. I remember they were once interviewing Quincy Jones and asked him about Bill, and Quincy was like, I'm not gonna say nothing bad about Bill. Like he ain't like because he was like, yo, when we was all coming up as jazz musicians, and yo, we needed money to get on tour, we needed this something to get on our feet. Like Bill was helping out, like, but that was like his shit. But then you juxtapose that with like Eddie Murphy, and I forget which one, if it was Raw or Delirious, but it was one of the two stand-ups where Eddie Murphy talks about Bill Cosby calling him and criticizing him about why he cursed so much. And then, then he calls Richard Pryor, and Richard Pryor was more the guy who was like accepting of the young girl. He was like, yo, tell that motherfucker suck my dick. Like, so like, it's just a funny thing, but it's the generational divide, right? But still with the, for all of that, and it wasn't a hip hop show, it did it, but it gave us, just to see us on TV, like it just gave us. I remember my mom was like super strict with like bedtime when I was young. So the Cosby Show was 84, it first came out. So probably 85, 86 is when I remember watching it, maybe towards the second season. And I used to have to go to bed at 8 o'clock on a school night. Hey man, you gotta be in bed. I remember when Wheel of Fortune came on at 7:30.
That was the time.
That was the time, yo.
Like, all right,
get up there, go brush your teeth, start
all that stuff.
And I used to lay in bed, right, and hear the TV, and my parents and my older brother and sister watching the Cosby Show and laughing, and they having a good time, keep kidding, and I'm in bed. So the first time my mother extended my bedtime was like, all right, you can stay up till 8:30, you can watch the Cosby Show with us. Yeah. Like, so it was just such a pivotal.
That's a bookmark in your journey as a kid.
How do you divorce that?
Right.
You can't.
It's implemented. It's just drilled. It's like, it's just cemented. It's compartmentalized in your brain just as a young kid, a young black kid, like, because my family kind of was like that. Like, my father had a good job, my mother had a good job. I had my sister and, me, whatever the case is. So there was kind of like a marriage of, we blended, but it is hard to just like, because that's my childhood. That's where I grew. That's how I grew up. My father was like that. My mom was, very hardworking and very sarcastic, and it was just like, oh shit, like that's how my father acted, how my mom acted. But outside of that, no, that's not how my dad acted.
And it's so crazy too, because like, how many seasons did it run?
It ran from 84 to 92, so it ran. I'm terrible at math. That's 8 years. It's about 250 episodes or something like that.
But the craziest part is, like, I remember watching the Cosby Show. I'm born in 88.
Yeah, you was watching
I
reruns.
remember watching the Cosby Show till I was in like middle school. Like it was so impactful that even when it went syndicated, it was almost like it was a new show again.
Yeah.
Like my parents still sat down and watched the Cosby Show through my childhood.
That the other thing that again
and Good Times, but we had those on DVD.
But Good Times was a different show, like to show a black family like high middle class, upper class, whatever, like affluence, like doing well.
Yeah.
Like at Good Times was still the love was still the same. The love that the family had for each other was comparable, so the love didn't change. But it was like, yo, yeah, we ain't gotta like see ourselves in the projects. Like, oh, it could be this and this is the situation. But the one thing to contextualize again for anybody who's a little bit younger, I mean, cable TV isn't really a thing now anymore. So much of this generation is not in cable. But didn't even exist. Like, we didn't even have cable. Like, cable was just being introduced. What I'm saying is we didn't have that many options. But see, you maybe have 5 or 6 different channels.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
But that was on NBC, right?
That was on NBC, yeah. So we didn't have a whole bunch of options.
Fresh Prince was NBC too, right?
Fresh Prince was NBC, yeah. So, and then things like back then, like Channel 11, which I guess every city it was different. In New York, it was like WPI, didn't do original programming. Fox didn't do original programming until like the 90s. They would run stuff for syndication. So the only places that really was like putting on original shows was like CBS, ABC, and NBC. And that was it. And then everything else was kind of just like syndication or something.
And two, I think, and this is so crazy, like the most profound impact the Cosby had on me, because I had my mom and my dad, and they weren't together, but they was like, my mom and my dad pretty much been best friends my whole life. I think they just realized at a certain point, like, yo, we don't make good marriage partners, but we cool, right? But the Cosby Show made me want to be smart.
Yeah.
Like, it made me want to like learn the right way to speak, how to write, how to do everything,
How to present yourself.
how to present yourself. It was like I should do all the fun shit, and then this go teach me how to do like the proper way of
my book.
But even think about the spinoff was a different world.
Yep.
So now it's showing us
That's my class.
in higher education, right? And you know what I'm saying?
Historically black colleges, like
This is another reason we can't. This is another reason we got to separate the man from the, because that's 2 super impactful shows that we would have to let go, and I'm not letting it go. Like my goddaughter, she 18. She just started college last week. I like literally went on Netflix and put it in her queue to watch A Different World. Like, I wanted her to, because this is her first time away from home. This is her first time really. She's not really one of them kids that was off the porch. She was on the porch kid. So this is her first time being away from home. So I wanted her to see something to kind of train the experience she could have in college.
Yeah.
These just impactful shows that are literally like textbooks for us.
And I think it inspired. I don't know what the numbers are, right? But I feel like A Different World, definitely. I just anecdotally, I remember like my friend, like, then kids craving a college experience off of what they saw on TV or A Different World.
It's definitely, I don't remember the number, but they definitely read a stat that said that was the highest era of black enrollment in college.
I believe that.
But yeah,
by a mile.
The crazy thing about Different World, me and my sister, like, we watching that shit, like, we binge watching it, just going through it again. You know what I mean? And like, just the issues they covered, you know what I'm saying? Just like between relationships and just, you know, being in a black college and, you know, putting that up against other like white schools and what that
did that make you want to go to
Yeah, I mean, well, 2 things made me want to go to black college. My father, because he went to Morgan State, and then Howard, I transferred there after. But yeah, just watching that experience, watching that show, and just looking like, okay, that's what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that definitely had a big impact.
Who's your favorite Cosby character?
Oh man, probably I mean, it's between Lisa Bonet or Rudy. Like, I mean, just cause. But Rudy too, it was like that too was Keisha Knight Pullum. Like, I feel like her and I are about the same age. So she was on. So again, seeing the show in real time and being like, oh, like that little girl's the same age as, and
we go through
getting something to relate to. So that was like a character that I felt like I grew up with. Like, every year I get a little older and you see she come back a little, see she get a little older. And then Lisa Bonet was just Lisa Bonet. You know what I mean?
It was just Lisa Bonet.
But what was some of your favorite moments or classic episodes?
Justine. I love that episode though. I watch that episode every.
I think my favorite one is when Denise went to Baltimore.
Oh yeah.
And he drove down to Baltimore, brought her ass back.
Hey, fun.
Yeah. And the way Felicia Rashad leaned into her and it was like art.
Yeah.
I was like a mess.
Big fun.
Yeah, ass but verbally, but that's just I love.
And that was the thing too, because they disciplined their kids, but it wasn't like I don't know. I
wasn't like Bill Dad.
Yeah,
it was more so like just like verbal. Yeah, verbal abuse.
It was still,
it's worse though.
It was still like it reminded me of that too when Theo I forget one that he was messing up on the report card and Cliff said something to him about and your brain oozing out of your ear and shit like that. He was just kind of wasting his time and was just giving him that long hard speech, and I was like, damn, I'm little at the time, so I wasn't there yet. I'm like, damn, I definitely seen my brother getting yelled at, but still shit like that. So it was like, I
didn't see my sister get some shit, and my mom usually being the one that leans into her. My father just like sitting back, just like I told you.
The Gordon Cottrell.
And that
Gordon Cottrell.
Yeah.
They can put that in the Smithsonian if Trump don't kill the Smithsonian.
Yeah. That's what I do remember. Another episode, clearly the Stevie Wonder.
They just had it on the one.
I love that shit. And then I forgot what the episode was titled, but like them coming down the steps and singing.
Oh yeah. The
when all the kids was singing.
The day, all right? Yeah. It was why am I forgetting my man? Harry Belafonte.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
The day, yo.
Yeah. That was my favorite episode.
It was a later episode. I like the episode with Cliff and the two husbands was fake pregnant.
Yeah.
I remember that. That was a good one too.
I remember that one.
That was a good one because they stayed in character for the whole show.
Yeah.
The one that I remember as a kid was with Dizzy Gillespie. And Dizzy Gillespie as a horn player and would get his cheeks to blow up like real big. And I just remember that episode, right? Again, this was like the only show I could watch outside of cartoons that my parents let me watch. And so, funny thing, so I knew Dizzy Gillespie from that. I'm young. I don't know that he's a jazz legend. I don't know nothing about it. And one time I'm in California with my family. So my uncle, my grandmother's brother, was a famous jazz musician, Latin jazz musician by the name of Willie Bobo. And he played with Dizzy Gillespie before in his band. So I was staying at a hotel in Cali and Dizzy Gillespie is there. And so my mother goes up to him and is like, yo, I'm the niece of Willie Bobo, but introduces and Dizzy Gillespie just showed mad love. So I got to meet Dizzy Gillespie. I'm like 7.
And now you tying it all together.
Right. But all I know him from, like, my mother is introducing, yo, this is Dizzy Gillespie. This is, big musician, da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, you were on the Cosby Show. Like, and that's my only
That's your point of reference.
Yeah. Right. So it was like that.
Like a full circle moment.
Right. You know what I'm saying? At 7 years old, it was like crazy. So I always remembered that episode. The jamming on the one thing was dope. And then the amount of like careers that it's from, like we come to find out years later that Alicia Keys was on the episode as a kid.
Kim Fields.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people.
Yeah. Man.
Whole Cockroach.
Yeah. From Martin and
I wonder which character he gets, like the stain that he can't get off him.
Right.
Like, I wonder do
It's
more
Cole.
people call him Cole or Cockroach?
I think
Older, I ain't been on the age.
Older, yeah, that's what I was about to say. The older statesman, it'll be Cockroach.
Yeah.
He's Cole.
I'm gonna call him Cole. Like, I seen him. I'm going with.
Meanwhile, the man got a whole government name that his mother gave him.
Yeah, like if I saw him, I probably reference. I talk about Cole.
And one of my boys, like, he the Cole of the group, so this is like
everybody got a Cole.
Yeah,
everybody got a Cole in their friendship.
Yeah,
and a Cockroach.
It's just so tough to. I was actually watching it before we even talked about doing this episode. I was flipping out because I still got cable. Was flipping through some of the channels, and it was on.
That's closest.
Right.
I got cable too.
And I just stopped and watched. They was giving like a marathon. I was like Cozy or one of them channels. And one of the things I'm looking back and I appreciated how real it was that nobody had veneers. It was like, yo, you could be famous. It's like, yo, these were the biggest stars of like, again, this was appointment television. The whole everybody's watching. And I seen Lisa Bonet, and I'm like, yo, that's her real teeth.
Right.
Like, I'm like, yo, this is beautiful. Like, yo, like,
I mean, like, yeah, that you're that thing, like the
Now
world.
somebody got to go take a picture and see if she still got them.
Everything like the world and the entertainment business and like shows like that. It wasn't artificial. It was meant to be authentic as possible from the clothes to
the craft.
to the conversation.
It was bigger than the celebrity back then.
Yeah, like those. It was intentional. You feel what I'm saying? Like it was meant to. If you see them on TV, you want them to feel like that's your family or representation of your family and what you saw growing
Don't judge me if I go get videos.
nah, I'm not judging. but it just shows you how the time changes.
Sorry.
You know what I'm saying? And what we view as important, but also the access that we have to stuff. And even back then, again, you could still be a star. You could still be on TV and still feel kind of relatable.
Well, that brings me to a question. Like, having less access created better art. Like, struggle always create better art. Mm-hmm. Is that part of the problem? We don't get these type of shows no more because we have too much access to everything else?
Yeah, I think because there's so much fluff and shininess and success that you see like on social media or you may see on these television shows or even hearing in the music. You know, sometimes it's just like they skip past the process of like getting to where they are. Like, how did you get that house? How did you get that marriage? How did you get that job? How did you get X?
PPPs.
Yeah. But like, and that's a beautiful thing. Like we discussed priorly with Martin, we saw that climb of him working at this bullshit ass radio station and him having his own TV show, blah, 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 blah. But you get to see like the journey and what it makes you as a person. And you want to adapt and live that kind of life, but we don't get that now. We don't see that.
We understood.
So it's not attractive.
Yeah, but we understood it because even now, I mean, first of all, the show took place in Brooklyn, or the story took place in Brooklyn, but it was like Brooklyn Heights, so it was a little more. We knew it was like I'm in Flatbush, and I'm like, oh, I know it's a different area,
It's different atmosphere, it's different vibes,
it's a little bigger, but you know, it was relatable, and then the funny thing is the cutscene though that they use. Is Manhattan. You know, when they show the house outside.
Yeah.
Like, and then, but as kids.
Probably like Upper East Side or some shit.
Nah, it's in, it's right off of Hudson Street. Yeah,
okay.
It's right off, but where they used the B-roll, right, was actually in Manhattan. And then when you're a kid, you start putting the Easter eggs together. If you watch, like, the New Edition, the Cool It Now video, you can see the Cosby house in the background. Like, it was on the block. It was all like in Manhattan. So, you know, it's other things. Like again, we didn't, I think part of the question is why we don't get shows like that is because we have access to so much more stuff. We had so little stuff to watch that we really dialed in on the details. So you could watch the Cosby Show and then you see the New Edition Cool It Now video. Yeah. And you'd be like, oh shit, that's the Cosby house in the background. Because we just didn't have that much stuff to watch. So we obsessed over those details and shit like that. But I don't even know what the point was, but it was just kind of cool how it was rooted in New York. It was rooted in something real, like, and even though obviously it was a big production,
made me want a brownstone.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. And then it was nothing more Brooklyn than that. Like that, you know. Even if you look at how they designed the Barclays, the way it's the reason why the Barclays Center is that color is because Brooklyn brownstone is a thing. So, a lot of cultural significance in that, man.
Do you think? Outside of A Different World, do you feel like that show broke ground for some of the other stuff that we got? Like My Wife and Kids or Blackish or like that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Like that's a lineage. Like that's the tree. When we were talking about yesterday with Rob. Like that the Cosby Show is the big ass tree and the branches and leaves. My Wife and Kids. You know, Parenthood, boom, boom, boom. Like all those shows are literally like the same.
And it's crazy because I was asking a question about Martin and comedians going to that, but you almost forget that Bill Cosby was a comedian first.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I think it also Fresh Prince. And I don't know this for a fact, but I think the success of a Cosby Show, because that's all on NBC, allows for, hey, when Quincy brought Fresh Prince to the table, so Quincy brings anything you want to listen to Quincy, but I think the success of the Cosby Show, and then when you bring in the idea of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, it's like, oh yeah, we know how to market this, we know how to promote this, we know what time slot to put it in.
Like, you know what network to put it on.
Yeah, like clearly it's not like identical because the focus is as well, right? Yeah. But when you look at the family structure,
it's pretty much
a mirror.
The first Aunt Viv and Claire are very similar.
Yeah,
like the typecast and their kind of character arcs, so to say.
Yeah, so there are spots of imitation from the Cosby Show and from
Yeah. Did your kids watch the Cosby Show?
Nah, they was never into. You know what I'm saying? Like my kids don't even touch TV.
Nothing old.
Yeah, if it ain't, they don't sit down and watch TV. Like
my niece watches a different world though. She's 21. She watches a different world.
She in college?
She did 1 year. She's taking a break now, but we got her on different world, so she fucked.
I'm telling you, I told my daughter, I'm like, I'm checking your queue, see if you watch it. Like,
study.
At least watch it. Watch the first season.
Right.
Or just put it on in the background. Just listen to it.
Just appease me. Because the Cash App request gonna come, so at least you can do it.
It was like, we gotta watch this shit like here.
Yeah, like
what episode you watch today? All right, here's $50.
Yeah, there we go. You know you don't want to eat on campus today. You want to go off campus today.
You watch it.
This is your ticket.
You got 2 episodes of Different World to watch. You're gonna eat whatever you want.
It's no fine, Dwayne Wayne.
You said don't?
Nah,
why not?
I'm not ready.
But it's funny too how we talked about the Cosby Show, and Bill Cosby not being really hip hop, and it was still so early. But by the time A Different World came, it's absolutely a hip hop show.
Mm-hmm.
Like from the way they dress.
Crisscross was on that shit.
Yeah, Tupac was on that shit.
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying? Like, and even still, and it goes back to that thing again. We had so little access. We didn't have the internet. Like literally watching TV and grainy. It's not like we had HD or nothing.
Man.
But man,
you almost look like that.
What sneakers?
A bunch of them shit did.
They did look like the nigga version.
I definitely watched A Different World on this TV, but looking to see what sneakers they had on. Like just look, you know what I'm saying? Looking to see like
they wearing cross colors.
This might be the first time. What was what's the college brand?
Hillman?
The
emblem?
African American.
Yeah. When they had like the Gremlin
sweatsuits and sweatsuits. It's the first time I remember seeing those.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta get one of those.
Yeah. Nah, it really made it like pop culture. It made it cool to be smart.
Classic came out around then, but we'll talk about that later. What's the one with Tyra Banks and Oh My Eps?
What was that?
It wasn't Britney. Oh, High Learner.
Oh yeah, High Learner.
No, because when he said Tyra Banks, and I'm thinking of Tyra Banks and Fresh Prince.
Oh,
that she worked at too. So
yeah, she worked at Tyra.
Yeah. But
that's Tyra Banks, fool.
Yeah. Nah, man.
You look like Lil Penny.
Who? What happened?
He looked like Lil Penny.
Yeah, you look like Lil Penny.
Where the fuck that come from?
That's Tyra Banks.
I get it, my nigga. We talking about like we doing this today.
Random. What can I say?
He said, "I'll call you back. I'm going to a tunnel."
Ain't no fucking compliment. Yeah, I look like a stick figure. Like, what are we doing with this? This is what we doing today.
That's so hilarious. That's so hilarious.
It's all up.
Okay.
Nah, man, but I get it. I get it for like what y'all said, how people who it's hard for them to revisit that. But man, a lot of our heroes did like some fucked up shit, man. But the art that they left such a mark on us. You know what I'm saying? And it was so important at that time. The art was amazing. The art was amazing. The man and his actions, the man and his actions, horrible and despicable.
That's not why we're having this conversation. Like, we're not trying to be insensitive to what he's done and to whom he's done it to, and to similar things that have happened to people in that specific situation. We're never trying to negate or take away from their experience and their trials and tribulations. But unfortunately, like, that man did create a pivotal thing in not only Black culture, just pop culture itself.
I just want to say for the record, no pun intended, for the record, I'm going to fight for a lot of classics that have controversial figures around them, and I'm only doing it for the art.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think you need to explain it,
it's
but
certain projects that we just gonna have to talk about.
I mean, look, man, and this going a little off subject, but it's like
I believe
we love. I didn't even get the R. Kelly, but you know, Rick James in real was a motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
Like in real life.
Shit.
Like,
Another one you talked about, Richard Pryor. We talked about Richard Pryor on this episode. Richard Pryor and Pam really got some shit.
right. You know, I even think about you know, man, one of my favorite rappers of all time, the greatest of all time, Notorious B.I.G. Like during this whole Diddy shit, like there's a part of me that's like, man, I'm glad Biggie not here for this.
Man.
Because you know what I'm saying? Like
They already be pulling apart the Richard Pryor joke.
Right.
It would have just been 100 more worse.
But you know, even Big didn't have a
clean
you know, Kim, if you go read Lil Kim book, like it's our heroes are flawed, our heroes are people. And the same thing, you kind of look at yourself or at your family members. Like, man, not to that degree. I'm not saying we all doing some Bill Cosby shit, but everybody got some shit with them.
Yeah, everybody got some shit.
Or somebody in your family got some shit with them.
Or we saw some shit.
Right.
And this is a question that, you know, I think is gonna come up. But is it wrong to push the art to the forefront and the bullshit to the back?
I think it's a case by case basis. I think sometimes
it depends who you ask. Also,
yeah, and then the time and the place, and now is not the time for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, look, man, I think the R. Kelly thing was. It's like, all right, now's not the time for it because look, with Kells, when that shit was going on in real time, there was a lot of but there was a lot of but the music is great.
That's to that point. That's with Kells was like, yo, okay, yeah, that bullshit is whatever it is, but yo, the music,
right?
And that was the intensive part. That was,
but then it got to a point when it was like, people are really going through some shit. You're gonna have to pause this shit for a second.
And acknowledge and
acknowledge what the fuck is going on.
And I will say,
and people's hurt and people's pain.
Not to try to draw too much distinction, but with an artist, I think it's a little different than with like a show or something like that, because there's too many other people's legacies that's tied to the Cosby Show.
I mean, but the same thing with music. There's producers. There's you know what I'm saying.
Like if we're talking about an album, if we're talking about a specific person, like collaborators and this that.
Like think about it.
There's a lot of people that are affected that we may not understand or know. Like people. They get heat too. Like you was around this person, you was creating music with this person, you was in the studio with this person when all this shit was going on, and you just turn your cheek. So like a lot of people do be getting hit with it.
It's just tough. I firmly believe like there's no one prescription for the whole thing. Like I think just as a community, we just gotta do the best we can at each turn. And I know some people call it, you picking and choosing and hey man, sometimes you gotta pick and choose. Sometimes like but never at the
big chick, skinny chick. You know what I'm saying? You're just picking and choosing at all times.
But so you gotta be sensitive to people's pain as well. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing I think about R. Kelly, just going back to it, is so much of his music was sexualized.
True.
And then there were so many kind of records that illustrated or half illustrated, a little illustrated what was going on in real life that maybe we didn't realize.
Then it was literally telling us.
Right. And same makes the music harder. It's
not in my playlist anymore.
Yeah. That nigga told us from the
you remind me of my genius, not in my playlist anymore.
Right. But he told us.
But they could choose it. So again,
but
I think for like somebody as impactful as Malcolm Jamal Warner, for us to lose somebody like that, we have to be able to talk about that impact.
Yeah, and we see it when he passed because, when he passes, you know, and even when he was alive and going through it, what happens to his legacy? Like is he not then allowed to celebrate? Is Keisha Knight not allowed to celebrate the work that they all
allowed to celebrate?
And so. In that way, I understand what you're saying. How it's like it's an ensemble, it's a cast, so it's a people to come together. Like
it's always going to be a hard conversation, but whether we have we hate the show because of him or we love the show, but can't separate it, whatever it is, the Cosby Show itself is
and then
going to be
even back to the point of me telling my daughter to watch A Different World, I don't think it's enough black positive stuff out there now that you got to show these kids something other than the bullshit they say. Right. So like until there's more of a parody, like I ain't trying to tell kids who listen to drill music they can't listen to drill music. I was listening to DMX. Right. I was listening to Ice. But I was listening to all this.
I was listening to a Tribe Called Quest too. I was listening to De La Soul.
But that's what I'm saying. So there's more parody. Then some of these classes we got to bring to the forefront for the kids just to see. Like there's more there. Like
it ain't always just loving hip hop. It's always not just, Sister Wives, whatever the case.
It's not just, these hoes ain't loyal. Like these are family structures that you can go watch on your own time and find a blueprint.
But it's available. It's
available there.
It's just you gotta do the work.
I keep saying like these episodes, I want them to be like encyclopedias. Like I want them to be like when we was coming up in school, you had to go to the encyclopedia, went to the library and you studied certain history. We don't necessarily have that for our culture. Our culture is media. Our culture is in these films, in these albums, in these movies, in these TV shows and all of these things. But it's not just there to say, look, we had the biggest show on TV. No, it's messages in these that we need, that our kids need, that these kids trying to make a transition from the hood to now just going to school. They the only kid to go to school out of their family, or they the only kid to go to school out of their neighborhood. Yeah. They need some sort of blueprints. And until we get more, these are the ones that are there. Go watch those.
The roadmaps, they're just like, this GPSs to what life can be and what it should be for you and your friends and your family, etc.
So that's what I'm at with it.
That's real, man. I think that's a dope place. And this is a good talk. Positive. I like this episode. Like
no arguments except for the little penny shit.
All right. Well, and you started that shit. Yeah, they about to go shoot. Lo about to go get his 5 minutes, man. But
yo, lock the door, bro. I need 30 seconds, brother.
We gonna see y'all next episode, man. Like, subscribe, comment, do all of that. We want to have this conversation with y'all, so we're gonna be in the comment section too. And until next time, peace.